What is up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Sactown Sports Kings recap. Apologies for starting a little bit later than I would normally start today. Had a little bit of an issue, as you can see, coming from a slightly different location. Kind of had some problems locking down where I was going to hop on the live stream today. So I figured why not just do it in the stands and do it where the fans got to see quite a ball game. Don't really know how I want to describe this game if I had to pick one word. I don't quite know what's the best word to use for it, but it was definitely interesting. It was definitely a unique basketball game played today. Kings somehow, some way, end up on the winning side of things, 121-118 in overtime over the Portland Trailblazers. Definitely wouldn't have wanted to get into an overtime game if you would have asked me before this one tipped off. But, beggars can't be choosers. And when you are on a losing streak, like the Sacramento Kings were heading into tonight's game, which reminds me, I need to put this nice little banner up where I kind of need to take some things out where I'll just put this. You know what? It's fine. We don't need a banner. It's fine. You guys know the score. 121-118, Sacramento Kings in overtime. You probably wouldn't have wanted to go to overtime. If you talked to anybody before this game, you would probably have wanted the Kings to come out strong and quick and put this one away early and make a statement after their last two games in Houston, which were the most embarrassing games I think I've seen the Kings play in the Mike Brown era. And, definitely something that I think we all hope is an anomaly, is a blip on the radar when we look back on this season. Hopefully this is not a sign of things to come. And hopefully this is not a sign of some real deep layered issues that this Kings team might have, which they very might, because even getting the result tonight, again, you probably wouldn't have wanted it to look like this. You probably would have wanted it to look a whole lot cleaner. But nonetheless, they get the win and they get this losing streak off their back. And I would say a lot of people came alive tonight that the Kings desperately needed to kind of shake out of their slump. And we'll talk about it, but some people definitely remain in that slump and might have even slumped down a little bit deeper into their shooting slumps. But let's talk about positives first, because on a night like tonight, on a win after this losing streak, we got to focus on the positives first and foremost. First off, I mean, Domantas Sabonis was incredible. Looked back to his all-star ways, which was great to see. When De'Aaron's not going, you kind of knew that Sabonis was going to have to step up as the second all-star, as the second all-NBA guy on this team. The Kings needed him, and they've needed him the last three games. And have really only gotten production tonight. I'm not including the Golden State game, of course. But it was a good night for Domas. And the most important news, I would say, coming into and out of this game is Keon Ellis enters the starting lineup. Surprisingly, Coach Brown held it tight to the vest. Even in his pregame press conference, was asked directly about Keon Ellis and gave a wonderful answer about Keon's heart, his effort, what he brings to this team, what he saw in Keon's 15 or 12 minutes, 15-point performance the other night. But didn't once mention that he was thinking about giving Keon more minutes or thinking about shaking up the rotation. And when we learned of the starters tonight, it was a massive surprise to just about everyone. You could see the news trickle along throughout the media members. It was really cool moment to see, but definitely surprised a lot of people to see Keon Ellis get the start tonight. And I would say he did pretty well. He played like Keon Ellis, which I was really glad to see. When you get your first NBA start, it's tough to not go out there and want to show everything you've got and play excited and play almost out of yourself, because you have adrenaline flowing, and again, you're trying to prove that you belong out there. And frankly, I wouldn't say I liked to see Keon Ellis finish tonight's game with he finished with 4 with only 3 shot attempts and only 4 points. But frankly, I actually kind of think that it's it's a good example of how mature Keon Ellis is and why Coach Brown shouldn't be afraid to give him even more minutes. I'm not saying Keon Ellis should now be the permanent starter if De'Aaron Fox isn't out there, but I think the fact that Keon was out there, played a calm, relaxed game, didn't step out of himself, and just did what I assume Coach wanted him to do out there. I'd be surprised if this is just a one-hit wonder, and I'd be surprised if Keon doesn't find himself in the rotation moving forward until he plays himself out of it, because I really do think, I said it on the last live stream, but I think Keon Ellis is special defensively, and I really think, if the Kings can find him minutes and if he can continue to make shots to keep him on the floor, I just think he's going to have an impact. I really do believe in him that much as a defender. So really cool to see Keon get minutes, and hopefully he can leverage that into a nice little rotation. But definitely brings up the conversation of what's next for Davion Mitchell. Exits the starting lineup. I think a lot of people probably would have assumed that when that happens, that doesn't mean very good things for Davion. You wouldn't know it from watching Davion's performance tonight. I actually kind of feel like this is his best performance, especially coming off the bench, that I've seen in a really long time. Much like Keon Ellis, didn't feel like he was in a mode where, I just got pulled, I just got benched, let me show Coach what he's missing out on, what he messed up by putting me on the bench. Didn't have a bad attitude about it either. Didn't come out there and was low energy, and you could tell he was upset that he wasn't starting or anything like that. Just came in, played his game. You wouldn't have noticed any difference from tonight's game to when De'Aaron Fox is out there and Davion is spelling him. I thought tonight was definitely one of Davion's better performances. He knocked down a couple threes, played some really good defense when the Kings needed it down the stretch. Finished with 16 points tonight, which I'm kind of shocked by. I did not realize he scored that much. He hit 3 threes tonight, including a corner three, if I'm not mistaken, in that fourth quarter in overtime. I thought it was a really good performance from Davion. And, I hope that this, him moving to the bench ultimately doesn't kill his spirit, because the Kings still need a backup point guard. And Davion is right in line to get all of those minutes, even when De'Aaron comes back. I definitely I don't think that this is, an end of Davion Mitchell or anything like that. And I actually think it's really interesting, the fact that we didn't see I almost said Kessler Edwards. We saw a lot of Kessler Edwards. We didn't see any of Colby Jones tonight. Didn't see any of JaVale McGee tonight. Didn't see any of Sasha Vezenkov tonight. And I think that those adjustments were made off of those 2 Houston games. I think Mike Brown went with guys who were productive and gave really good defensive effort minutes. And frankly, I mean, we've talked about it in the past, but I just think Sasha isn't there yet as a defender, and I think that's going to keep him off the floor for the time being until this team figures it out. McGee, I'm honestly kind of surprised by. I loved Alex Len's minutes tonight. I just did not expect Mike Brown to go away from JaVale. It's been frustrating to watch JaVale. He's been able to be productive. He's had a couple double-digit performances, was able to grab some rebounds, but to me, it's just a lot of head-scratching plays, a lot of weird decisions, and he just is rarely under control. I'm not saying he can't bring things to the table. Definitely is an elite lob threat. Is still pretty good around the rim defensively, and is, of course, the most veteran on this team. So definitely his voice is incredibly valued, but I thought it was interesting that Mike Brown went to Alex Len tonight, and Alex Len gave really, really good minutes. I really enjoyed just about everything that Alex Len gave tonight. He finished with 10 points, which I cannot believe. 10 points, 6 boards, 4 of 4 from the field, 2 of 5 from free throw, which is just the story of the night. In 13 minutes, I really liked what Alex Len gave tonight, and I'm curious to see if that's something that's permanent. If we're going to see Alex Len kind of take those minutes from JaVale for the time being, because after his performance tonight, I don't think Mike Brown should take Alex Len out. I thought that was a really, really strong performance from him, and with an OKC team coming here on Friday, that's a really, really small team, and I think Alex Len would just absolutely dominate in that matchup. So really cool to see Alex have a really big night, kind of out of nowhere. I mean, this isn't new for Alex at this point. Last year, he got inserted the last week into the rotation, and after sitting the entire season. So this is a guy who stays ready, and we've seen that in the past. And good on him for just always capitalizing when his number's called. So shout out him. Shout out Kevin Herter, who knocked down 4 threes tonight. It seems to be like he's out of his shooting slump. Now, is he on fire right now? Is Kevin Herter on a heater? Absolutely not. But it's just really good to see Kevin Herter look normal. And I think at this point in time in the season, with how things have gone, we'll take normal for now. And then we can get Kevin Herter getting hot later in the season. Someone who's not hot, someone who's not on a heater, somebody who, I was mentioning earlier, is in a slump and is continuing to slump, is Keegan Murray. Tonight was a night that felt like it was set up for Keegan to succeed. Still no De'Aaron. Everybody had been struggling on this team. So, everyone, you had to figure the Kings were going to look to their shooters tonight to get their offense going. Again, Kevin Herter kind of pulled his weight, 4 of 9 from the field. Keegan Murray finishes 4 of 17 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, finishes with 9 points. Somehow was a +8 in the box plus minus, but just another really, really rough night from Keegan, and you hope he can break out of it, because if he can't, that definitely puts a hard cap on this team's potential, because they need all the shooters they can get, and if they can get Keegan and Kevin humming at the same time, that's how this thing starts to look like how it did last year. So Kings still continue to not hit their shots as a team. 29% tonight. Just absolutely rough. 0 of 7 from 3 for Malik. I didn't realize that until right now. But, this team is completely different when they're not hitting their shots. And we've seen that the past 2 nights. But tonight they had a little bit more. They were able to make a couple more shots. And I think it was a collective effort. And I hate to say it, but if the Kings would have lost tonight, probably would have put a lot of blame on Keegan Murray, because when you look at this, just when you look at the stat sheet, I mean, Sabonis, 27, 11 and 9, 11 of 14 from the field. Kevin Herter, again, he's not where we would want him to be, but 5 of 13, hit 4 threes, knocked down 17 points. Got to take that from Kevin. Even HB showed up down the stretch. He hit a couple threes, got a really clutch save down here in the corner, and then hit a 3. Finished with 9 points, or 12 points. I'm sorry. Malik obviously did what Malik needed to do in this one, and Davion Mitchell as well. So I mean, when you look at the guys who really played heavy minutes and just didn't contribute to the level the Kings probably needed to, the clear and obvious one would have been Keegan Murray, who, again, 4 of 17 from the field. And on a night like tonight, if he hits 2 or 3 of those shots, it's a lot easier of a night. And so, I haven't given up on Keegan Murray. I think we can all officially say that he is slumping right now, but it's, he'll hopefully get to the other side of it, and this will, again, hopefully just be a little blip on the radar that we talk about. And it'd be tough for Keegan to shoot worse right now. So hope Keegan can improve there. I might need to get out of the way, because there's people, as you can see behind me, trying to get out of here and clean up. So I'm gonna try and get out of here as soon as possible, just so I can help out. On the Blazers side tonight, Jeremy Grant was a man on a mission. 38 points, and really kept them in this one for a majority of tonight. You're good. Kept them in the game for a majority of tonight. Was really their main scoring option, especially when Malcolm Brogdon went out in the first quarter. They kind of didn't have anywhere else to go. And shout out Jeremy Grant, who I haven't been the biggest fan of, but tonight he definitely brought it. 5 of 8 from 3. 9 of 12 from the line, 38 points, 9 boards. I thought Jeremy Grant really made a big impact tonight with his shooting. And, of course, the Blazers needed it. This is why they're paying him $27 million this year. But I definitely thought that's about as good of a performance from Jeremy Grant as you're going to get. Career high is 44, and so comes close to that with 38 tonight. Kings did a really good job of slowing everybody else down though, because if Jeremy Grant's going to have 38, you can't really afford to. Oh wait, no, I'm kidding. I was being sarcastic. The Kings actually didn't do a good job at all of slowing other people down, especially not my guy Skylar Mays. I want to do a quick little minute here on Skylar Mays, a man who if I'm being honest, I just learned that he existed today. Never heard of Skylar Mays a day in my life until this morning when I was reading the Blazers depth chart, because Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons were out tonight. And then, as I mentioned, Malcolm Brogdon also was out after the first quarter. So I wasn't expecting to know who Skylar Mays was at the end of today either. But that's going to be a name I don't think I forget ever again, because he absolutely balled out tonight. 18 and 10, if I'm not mistaken, 18 and 11 tonight. 18 points, 11 boards, 8 of 15 from the field. And I swear on everything that's good in this world, I thought Skylar Mays was going to end this game tonight on that last second three. I really did. I fully believe that shot was going in because why not? And frankly, Skylar was on tonight. I mean, his finishing at the rim was incredible. So shout out Skylar Mays. You got a new fan tonight, because I did not see that coming, and I thought that this game was just going to be a simple game of math again, especially when Brogdon was out. I was like, they don't have enough people who can score points, even if Jeremy Grant has 38 points and DeAndre Ayton has 22. What is that? Somebody else do the math for me. That's 60. Thank you. That's not enough points to win this ball game. And so the fact that the Kings let Skylar Mays get 18, they let Ayton get 18, they let Shaedon Sharpe get 18, who eventually fouled out of this one. They need to be better defensively. We can talk about that some other day when the Kings aren't coming off of their two worst performances of the season. We could talk about improving the defense some other time. But definitely, it still doesn't change the fact that on a night like tonight, Kings just couldn't defend. Because the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, if the Kings aren't going to make shots, if they're going to shoot 30% from three on a given night, they've got to defend. They just have to. If you're not going to make shots, that doesn't mean you can't play defense on the other end. And tonight was just just a disgusting game. I saw someone say it was a terrific game. It was exciting, came down to the wire. But let me just give you some numbers here. Turnovers, 18 for the Blazers, 21 for the Kings. That's combined 39 turnovers. 39 turnovers in 4 quarters. That's insane. How about fouls? How about just personal fouls? 29 for the Blazers, 24 for the Kings. What are we talking about? That's like a combined 90. What is that? 90. So bad at math. Don't make me do quick math, especially there's so many numbers on this page right now. I don't know. It's like 90 something. Fouls plus turnovers. This game was choppy. It was slow. It was hard to get into a rhythm, especially in that second half. I mean, it was disgusting. I did not enjoy the second half of this game. And frankly, if I'm being honest, the Kings were lucky to pull out a win in this one. They were the better team, but they continue to not play to their potential. And frankly, the Blazers are also a lottery team. They're one of the worst teams in the NBA. I'm not saying they don't have talent. I'm not saying they're not capable of beating a Kings on a given night, but the Blazers, frankly, are not in the same tier as the Sacramento Kings. And the fact that this game was as close as it was is definitely not great. But again, when we're in the position that the Kings are in, beggars can't be choosers. You got to take the result. Let's do our 3 stars of the night so I can get out of here and I can let these people clean up my spot. 3 stars of the night. Again, I feel like this is maybe Friday will be the last time I explain this, but in hockey, they give out 3 stars at the end of every game. 1 star being, just an acknowledgement of someone's good game. 3 stars is, wow, you were the best player on the floor tonight. And I don't discriminate, so I'm going to go on both sides. It's not going to just be a Kings thing. We'll go both sides of the court, and I'm going to give my 1 star. See, now I got to think. The problem is I got to think about who I'm giving all the stars to, because I can't just forget people. I've got the 3 people in my mind. Can I give an honorary mention to Skylar Mays? Again, I know I already kind of did a Skylar Mays thing, but I'm going to give my Can I give half star to Skylar Mays? Who again probably I assume he had a career night. I'm not even going to bother looking up his numbers, but I'm just gonna blindly say Skylar Mays had a career high 18 points, career high 11 assists in this one, and it's a Kings classic. If the Kings always give up career highs to somebody, so tonight kind of felt like a classic Kings night. So shout out Skylar Mays, you get a half star. My 1-star performer for tonight. Man, this is honestly a really tough one to pick. On a night where Sabonis has a near triple-double, Jeremy Grant has 38, and Malik Monk pretty much single-handedly wins this one for the Kings in fourth quarter and overtime. I'm going to give my 1-star. This is a Kings program. I'm going to give my 1-star to Jeremy Grant. I know he was absolutely ridiculous. I know he was the high scorer on the night. 38, 9, and 5. 3 blocks as well. I did not realize 3 blocks as well. Jeremy Grant was the Blazers tonight. Without him, this game is a blowout. And shout out him for kind of playing a little bit of Harrison Barnes on the Mavericks, where it's just like, this is the only guy we have. This is the scorer. We're funneling everything through this guy, and we're not a very good team, frankly. And our only hope is that this guy goes crazy on a given night, which he did tonight, and it was almost good enough to win. So shout out Jeremy Grant. You unfortunately didn't win, and this is a Kings program, so you're getting 1 star tonight. My 2 stars is going to go to Domantas Sabonis, who I would love to give 3 stars to. But frankly, he kind of went quiet, I thought, in that second half. He had 12 in the second half in overtime. I just thought I really felt his impact in the first quarter, and then didn't really ever feel like he was as dominant as what he was to start the game. I believe he scored 9 of the Kings' first 11 points, so got off to an incredibly hot start. And he was big all night. I mean, again, he without De'Aaron Fox, he still is one of the main facilitators on this team, finishing with 9 assists. But it just felt like, moving on to the 3 stars, it felt like it was Malik Monk's show tonight. He even when he wasn't scoring in that first half, what he finished that first half with, as a matter of fact, he only had 7 points in that first half. Even when he wasn't really scoring, still had 6 assists. Sorry, I just read King Chico's tweet, or King Chico's comment. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put this up because that's actually hilarious. Malik Monk, even when he wasn't scoring, he was still dishing that first half. 6 assists. Didn't have his main assist guy either. The guy he loves to throw to, JaVale McGee, out there. Didn't matter. He just replaced JaVale with Alex Len. Threw Alex Len a couple lobs. It was just great at running that pick and roll with Sabonis, and how good he was. I mean, I on a night like tonight when De'Aaron's not out there, especially in the fourth quarter, Kings need somebody to step up. And Malik's known that. Malik has done it before. He tried to do it in that Warrior game. I think he did it, if I'm not mistaken, in that overtime period against the Lakers, which feels like 10 years ago at this point. But yeah, I really thought Malik was the best player out there tonight. I think he had 16 points in fourth quarter and overtime. Again, just doing his De'Aaron Fox impression. And then 10 assists. 10 assists on the night is just the icing on the cake, because without Fox, without Davion Mitchell really playing that backup facilitator role, oh my goodness gracious, my mind is all scrambled. Malik Monk just had to take control of the rock, and he was great. He was really, really great tonight, and I do wonder. Keon, again, I really liked how he performed, but I wonder when it gets to the point where it just makes a lot of sense to start Malik Monk, especially when De'Aaron's out. It just makes so much sense to have him spend a lot of time as that backup or as the main facilitator, I guess. So that'll be interesting. That'll definitely be interesting. Be interesting to see if on Friday in the in-season tournament game against OKC here at Golden One Center, if Mike Brown is as experimental with his lineups as he was today. If he's feeling as bold, as audacious as he was today, because he clearly, I can't imagine what that film session was like. I can't imagine what his coaches' meetings have been like recently, but clearly he's not happy, because he's doing things that I did not think he would do, period. And he was not afraid to go with who he truly believed in his gut was going to be best for this team. because to go with Keon Ellis was a very, very bold move. And I see tons of people talking about this in the chat, and y'all really thought I was going to miss this. I actually was. And shout out you guys for keeping me accountable. Free throws, freaking free throws, y'all. Can this team make free throws is probably going to determine a lot this season, or probably end up costing the Kings a couple games. Hopefully they can figure it out, and maybe it'll actually win them some games with some, with some positive, not positive regression. That's a oxymoron. I can't do this live stream today, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. I think it's completely fried because the Kings won, and I was not expecting to be here this late. But hopefully the Kings can get better at free throws because they know they suck, is essentially where I was getting at. They've been terrible at free throws all year long. Shot 73% from the freaking free throw line again tonight. Y'all, Malik Monk. Let me tell you about Malik Monk and free throws. Last year, Malik Monk shot 90% on his free throws. Tops on the Kings by far. He was top 10 in the NBA in free throw percentage. Tonight, Malik Monk missed. It doesn't even look right. It don't look right. I don't think I've seen any Sacramento King ever take 19 free throws. Malik missed 4. He missed 4 free throws tonight. After missing, I looked it up. I believe he missed 22 free throws all of last year. So the fact that he missed 4 tonight is a complete anomaly. And when you pair that with the fact Sabonis keeps missing free throws, especially those clutch free throws down the stretch, it's painful. It's really painful. King shot 73% from the line tonight. I don't know what's going on with the shooting in general. It's the threes, it's the free throws, even from the field for them to shoot 46%. Last year, the Kings were shooting 50% easy every single night, and they have not been able to knock down the shot as well as they were last year. So I'm going to get out of here because I feel like my brain is slowly frying, and I got to do 4 hours tomorrow. So I hope everyone enjoyed this game. I don't think it was really enjoyable. But at least the Kings got the win, and we're on the other side of this losing streak now. The streak ends at 3. Hopefully the Kings don't do this again, because these especially those 2 Rockets games were really, really tough to get through. Kings are a game under 500, hoping to move back to 500 on Friday again when they take on the Oklahoma City Thunder right here in Golden One Center. I can't wait to see the new court. I don't know what these guys are doing right now. If I could flip the camera for y'all real quick, they're like lining the court with some plastic. I'm not entirely certain what's going on in front of me, but yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. Maybe they're preserving the court or something. But I'm really excited now. Let me lean over here. I'm really excited for Friday, and I think I saw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 43 tonight. So he's clearly going to be ready to go on Friday. And hopefully De'Aaron is as well, because this game will not be the same if De'Aaron Fox isn't going. OKC's a team that much is a lot like the Kings last year. They're young. They're hungry. They're trying to prove a point. And I've been talking about it a lot. But when teams like OKC are going to play the Kings, they're going to look to make a statement, because they understand that if you can make a statement against the team that was the story, the darling of the NBA last year, well, then you're going to get talked about probably in that same fashion, or you can be talked about as the new Sacramento Kings, much like I feel like Houston should honestly seriously be considered, because I saw Houston won by 30 tonight over the Lakers. At some point soon, people are going to start taking the Houston Rockets seriously. They were incredible. They really were incredible over that 2-game stretch, and I think it's real. I really think that Houston team is real, and it'll be interesting to get a up close and personal look on OKC, who has Chet Holmgren this year, and they're definitely doing some damage. So it'll be interesting on Friday, and I look forward to hearing what Mike Brown and the team had to say in the post-game presser. So y'all have a fantastic night. I'm getting out of here. Again, Kings win in overtime. They end the streak. I got to go check out the beam right now. 121-118 over the Portland Trailblazers. Keegan Murray versus Chris Murray. Wasn't quite as exciting as what we all hoped, but it was still a fantastic show. Y'all have a fantastic night, and y'all light the freaking beam. Come on. Good night. See you tomorrow.